Hello, how are you doing? Welcome along to FTUK's weekly catch-up live stream. I hope that everything is well with you. My name is Nick Quinn. I'm the CEO of FTUK. And it's nearly halfway through November already. The tone out there, I think, is slightly complicated. We've got a hawkish Federal Reserve that is sort of muddying the water off the backdrop of looks like pretty low growth numbers at the moment. The government shutdown is not helping with the data that we've got around jobs is looking quite weak. So, those stock markets are definitely pushing to the downside, or certainly trying to, but always be very, very careful. Be careful. I would certainly be careful trying to be long the dollar here in these areas. But hopefully as we move into Christmas, things become a bit clearer and then we can start to paint out some fantastic trading for 2026. At FTUK, things are always busy. As you can imagine, Futures is well and truly launched and embedded, and it's great to see some of those accounts being purchased. Discord is there, of course, as always. If you want to scan the QR code and go and speak to Reza, he will always help you out. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's good to get your vote of confidence on the YouTube channel. And lots of good content coming out all the time. Right, let's jump in. We are looking at the weekly payout review, and then I want to break down the one-step sim account. I want to talk a lot about futures because it's growing in popularity and it's new. And a lot of people don't necessarily. We're getting a lot of questions about the futures now, but not necessarily an understanding of exactly what is involved. So I want to break down the one-step sim account in great detail and show you where the advantages are. I think it's a super cool account. And then I want to look again at, this is based off some other questions that we've had this week, talking about executing orders on the platform where you put a stop loss in, and you put a take profit target, how that works, because it is different. Now, we talked about this last week, and I don't mind going through it again. In fact, we can go through it every single week until people get used to it. And that transition from traditional Forex accounts on those types of platforms into the future space, it's different, and it's designed to be different, and that's a good thing because it helps people grow as traders. So I want to go through that one more time, and then we have a trading contest coming up in November, which these are always hotly anticipated. The amount of questions we get about these are just like, wow, insane. So don't worry, there is a new contest starting at the second half of November, which will run us into Black Friday. And it's going to be a super cool contest, all based around, it's called the Midas Touch. So, clearly for people that are very good at trading gold. But, we're no shortage of gold traders at FTUK, that's for sure. Let's start with the weekly payouts and have a look at what has been running through FTUK over the course of November so far. Ash P as well, congratulations, $2,085. Stanford J has the best payout so far in November, $5,073. I think that's the best payout so far in November. I apologize, I'm not totally across where this one's come from. It's probably an instant funding account, but I can certainly look into it in more detail later. Chaz V, $2,309. That's a good payout as well. Josh T as well, $2,199. I know that was a particularly difficult two-step, and that's Josh's first payout with FTUK. So congratulations, well done to you, Josh. Saw some of those support messages, so well done to you. A total of $33,610 for the payouts in November so far. That's a really, really strong start to November, as October was as well. On the funded side, Wallen N, $200,000, well done to you. Nesta M, $100,000, well done to you. And we have Jonathan N, fully funded from a one-step simulated futures account. $150,000. That is outstanding. It's really, really good to see that is working, because it proves it works. The model is working, and well done to you, Jonathan. I've got no idea how you've been actually trading it or how you've been working it. Fascinated to look at your account though, so well done to you. You've got that activation fee done on a simulated account, on a one-step as well, and it's a monthly subscription, which we're going to go into in detail. So that just proves that it works really well. That's amazing. That $150,000. I'm sure that payouts will be following on that one pretty soon as well. 1,420,000 in funded accounts in November so far. Yeah, really, really nice. So what I want to do today is I want to run through the new one-step sim account. This is we've got two flavors of futures trading accounts at FTUK, and the one-step sim is the I say entry level. It's not really entry level. It's still just as difficult as any of the other accounts, but it's a very particular type of way of doing it, because it does bring in that evaluation stage, but it does it immensely cheaply, and it does it on a monthly subscription as well. That is going to be super, super popular, because it means what you've got to think about is, for a very small monthly fee, it's what you get access to. The flexibility in these futures accounts is just astounding. And the payouts that you can get, because it's all built around day trading, is super amazing. So I want to go through the metrics of how it's all built, just to try and put some information out around that. So let's start with it like this. So you get 3 account sizes: a $50,000 account, a $100,000 account, and a $150,000 account. They're all on monthly subscriptions, so you pay right from the very beginning, and you pay that for the life cycle that you're with us, or until you decide to cancel that account. Now, at the moment, on the offers as well, whatever discount price you pay for that subscription, that follows you month to month throughout the life cycle as well. It's not only just for the first month. So you can get, with some of the deals that will be out there, you can get a really super cheap access to an account once you're funded, that you can just, can be really, really cost effective. So I would say that as a model is cheaper than working with the Forex accounts, potentially. It depends what you want to do, and it depends what your goals are, and everyone looks at things slightly differently, but it is worth considering. It obviously works in the same way as our Forex accounts. You have an evaluation stage that is then assessed by the assessment team. If all is good, you get the green light, and then you get the funded account as well. There is an activation fee. That's very similar to all other futures accounts that you'll find with other companies as well, but it is relatively containable, and that then obviously with the subscription makes it a very cheap gateway into getting these kinds of funded accounts. Let's start with the evaluation stage. You have to hit a 6% profit target on that evaluation stage. We'll use the small account, the $50,000 account, as a model for illustrating this, and you have a 6% profit target to make. So that's $3,000. That's $3,000 you'd have to make on that particular account. And then the firepower that you have at your disposal, understanding this is going to take a bit of a shift, because it's different from Forex. With Forex trading, you can slice and dice it however you like. So you can make the positions really, really small or really, really large. In futures, it's all standardized sizes. So it's based around something called the E-mini, which is one specific contract size. That E-mini, you take that and you divide it into 10. That's what the CME did a few years ago, and you get E-micro contracts. So if you're looking for flexibility in terms of sizing, because the leverage is kind of high, and you'll feel that once you put one E-mini on. If you're looking for that flexibility, then you want to then probably go down the route of the micros. That's going to give you that capacity to sort of just not be like, whoa, I've just clicked the button and I'm up $500 in a few seconds, or I'm down $500. If you're looking for that, until you get used to it, e-micros are a great way to go. Now, the way that the scaling works, it is different from the Forex accounts. The scaling is done as you grow your equity. So that is done as you grow your equity. You get given increased numbers of contracts to trade with. So your leverage increases as you go. So right at the start, if you buy that $50,000 one-step simulated account, you'll be given the access to either one E-mini contract that you can trade, or 10 E-micros, because obviously the E-micros are divisible by the 10 from the E-minis. So in the journey from $50,000 up to $1,000 in your equity, you can only trade with one E-mini or 10 micros, and you can't mix and match that. You can't have one E-mini and some E-micros. It's either one or the other. Once you hit $51,000 in equity, it then moves up to the next scaling tier, as it were, which is why it's your leverage that's scaling, and you can access 2 contracts, 2 E-minis, or 20 E-micros. And this is where you then be able to then split things apart. So you could have one particular product where you've got, or one instrument where you've got one E-mini on, and then on another one you could be working with E-micros. Yeah, so it starts to get easier the better you are trading and the further up the equity that you're going. Then from 52 up to 53,000, which is obviously then where you're looking to hit that 6% target, you get access to 3. So you do get more firepower as you're going. That in itself is very, very liberating. You've got to be careful though. You do have to be careful. So the firepower that is there in terms of leverage and access to the kinds of sizes that are going to make a difference when you're trading volatile events in the market. So it is there, but that is how it works. And that is very, very different from trading the Forex account. So it is worth just keeping a check on that and practicing how you're working with it. But the best way I could frame this for anyone who's never traded a futures account before, start with E-micros. Just to start with E-micros, it's an easier journey. It's not going to take you long to get used to it. Start there and then see how you go. Now, once you've hit the target, your account obviously gets assessed by the assessment team. That's no different from how you'd work with Forex accounts with us at FTUK. You're then invited to pay the activation fee. That's the same across the industry as well. It's only a one-off fee that allows you to get into that funded account, and that's it. Off you go. You're a funded trader. How do the payouts work? The payouts are fantastic on futures. 100%. You keep 100% of the profit. Up to the first $15,000 of profits that you make on the account. And you can access that money. The payout cycle is every 14 days. Now, if you don't want to do that every sort of like 2 weeks, if you're looking for something that's a bit more regular than that, and this is where the futures vehicle can become a real great way of getting regular money out of your trading in terms of, income. You can have that removed, and that's available as an add-on on the checkout for an extra 10% cost, and that allows you to have payouts on demand. So essentially, you can be trading during the day, you make some money, put in a payout request, and then away you go. You've got to hit a 5% target to qualify for that payout as well, so you've got to continually be proving your trading in the market, obviously, because we're looking for consistent traders that can actually work with it on a day-to-day basis. And the minimum withdrawal is $200. So you have to withdraw a minimum of $200, or you can't just withdraw $50. It's got to be $200 because of the payment business processes that go on behind it. That's the same as it is in Forex as well with FTUK. Consistency score, there is a consistency score, but this doesn't really seem to be causing a problem for anyone anymore. We have some beautiful traders that can work well within the consistency score parameters on the Forex accounts, and it's more generous here on the futures because it's set at 25% rather than 20%, so it is very, very good. On the other side of the coin, you have all your risk parameters, and these are the same for the evaluation stage as they are for the funded stage. On the $50,000 account, we use that as the model. It's a 4% trailing drawdown, which is based on the end of day print. Now, we're not doing static drawdowns at the moment on futures accounts. This is new for FTUK. That could be something that we'll look at in the future. So obviously watch the space because static drawdowns are popular. But, I do come across traders that do like a trading drawdown because it keeps them in the pocket. It keeps them right on the game. And they can't just, the static drawdown can give people a lot more room, and then they can break their rules and their strategies. Trailing drawdown, it's a measure. It keeps you on track. So some people do like it. That is 4% on the $50,000 account, which is $2,000. So you've got to be careful with those E-minis. You can blow it up really quickly. So be very, very careful. And that's why I said if you've never done it before, start with the E-micros. It's a lot smoother journey. Then you also have a daily drawdown as well. That is set at 2.5%. On the account, and that in itself is something which people can, I don't know, some people don't like the daily drawdown, some people do. I think it does a very good job of making sure that you can come back tomorrow. Because one of the things that can go drastically wrong with so many traders is they can see the red mist, they can think, right, I'm going to get revenge on the market. They enter into a really bad cycle, and they can blow their account in one go just from one small mistake, and it can just lead to a catalog of errors, and they blow it up. What the daily drawdown limit does all the time is it makes sure that you can come back tomorrow. because it will stop the account off, and then you can then come back with the next day and you've still got some capacity. For most people, that's all they need. And what that does over the bigger picture of traders, over a big enough sample size, is it does allow people to stay in the account longer. So it does do a really, really good job. Now, some people don't like it. I can understand that, but that's what it's designed to do, just to try and promote people to be here another day so they can step outside of that revenge trading mentality. Now, if you don't want to work with that, that's absolutely fine. So what we've done is we've added in a daily drawdown add-on in the checkout as well. So if you don't want to have the daily drawdown on the account, you can pay to have that removed, and that's fine. And you can just operate with the trailing end of day drawdown, and that is then that's up to you to decide how you want to work. So yeah, that flexibility is there if you decide that you don't actually want it. Now, what are the features and the restrictions on the accounts? Well, there's only one minimum day, which is fantastic, really. So that you just need to do that first initial minimum day, and then you are good to go. You can also reset these accounts. This is different from Forex. You can reset these accounts at all stages as well, and this is where the subscription model can really work for you, and give you a very cost-effective way of generating money in the markets every single day, basically. Because if you start to have problems, you start to get drawn down. Instead of blowing the account up, you can just say, take a break, pay a small reset fee, and come back, and it allows you that capacity to sort of stay with it, because once you've got the subscription, they're so cheap to have, that you might as well sort of have that access to the market, and just, if you want to soften your own mistakes, it's not quite as strict, and that reset fee allows you to do that. News trading's absolutely fine. You can do all news trading with FTUK futures, and that's a good thing as well, because it allows you to really maximize the volatility that you're going to get in some of the news events. And of course, this is a unique feature to FTUK, and I think it's something that we're going to stick with, and everything's commission free. And if you've done any real futures trading, you'll know that the commissions, they can be, with some firms, they can be quite high, and if you're day trading, then that makes a massive difference. So yeah, completely commission free, and that is important because one of the restrictions on the futures accounts is it's only day trading. So if you're a long-term position holder or long-term investor in the account, or you are looking to do swing trades over several days, those Forex accounts will serve that better. Plus, it's the same if you want to scale to those bigger numbers as well. The futures, you can't hold overnight. It's day trading only, and all the positions will be cut off at the end of the day. So it does work. These accounts work really well with the leverage for people that are intraday traders, scalpers, looking to just get money out of the market every single day, because it is that restriction is there. No weekend holding or anything like that. No copy trading as well. You can't do that with most futures types accounts. Even if you have real ones through CME, they take a very dim view of the way that is being worked with, like wash trades and that sort of thing. No EAs as well. You can't do EA trading on the accounts at the moment. Again, that could change at some point in the future, but not at the moment for the launch. And no hedging is allowed either as well. But there's plenty in there that allows you to sort of like tailor this the way that you want. So if you are a scalper, you are an intraday trader, you're looking for very fast returns, and you're looking for regular payouts, it's all there. Really cool. So yeah, the one-step sim is such a cheap way of getting involved, and it's a very cheap cost. Now the launch offer that we've got is absolutely outstanding. It's worth considering. You get a free account with your first payout, so there's a BOGO attached to this, and it's all half price as well. And as I said before, once you start that subscription model with an offer, so it's half price offers on the accounts at the moment, that stays with you for the life cycle as well. So it is worth taking advantage of the big offers whilst they are there, because it's not going to be there after Sunday, I know that, because the offers are changing next week. So yeah, and that means your subscription would stay up as well. So yeah, really good. The code that you're going to need on the checkout as well for these is launch. That's only applicable to the futures accounts, and you get that BOGO and you get that half price discount as well. So yeah, that's a good look at the one-step simulated account. Futures, what it gives you is just outstanding. I'm so pleased that we've got futures now at FTUK. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the actual platform itself, the execution, because we had another question comment as well this week about placing market orders with stop losses on the platform. It's different. Why is it different? It feels different. I don't fully understand it. We talked about it in last week's live stream. It's worth going watching the breakdown as we went through the depth of market ladder to show you how the orders get put onto the market and how you have to have some awareness of what you're doing. So I don't mind going through it again. We will go through it in detail, and I show you some different ways that you can carve it up. And people, you just need to get used to it. That's literally all it is. And once you're used to it, it'll just become like a reflex for how you operate in the market. It's like any bit of technology. It feels a bit weird at first, like putting on a new pair of shoes, but you get used to it, and then away you go. Okay, so let's go over to the website. No, in fact, let's not do that. Let's go to the platform itself. There you go. You should be able to see the platform in front of you now. Now, what I did last week is I talked through this area up here. And this is where you would set up your one cancels other orders or one sends other orders, and we talked about that in some detail. So if you wanted to add a traditional way of saying that I want to jump in the market and I want to have my stop and I want my take profit target attached to it, and I'll show you how you would do that. There's a very specific way of doing it, and it's here. One sends other plus one cancels other. That's what you want. Now you add that in there, and let me just open this out a little bit so I can see all of the details. Yep. So you should be able to see this here nice and clear. So we're going to go in at market, we're going to buy in at market, or we're going to sell in at market. And you can see there, as let me just try and get this in there. There, should be able to see that. There. So you can see that as I hover over there, you can see my one sends other with the OCO order attached to it. So I'm going to jump in at market, and there's parameters around that. And what that will do, it will tie together my order so that when I buy or sell the market, automatically my stop loss will be triggered and it will cancel the take profit. Or if I take profit, it will automatically cancel the stop loss underneath. Yeah, so that's the simple way of doing it. Now I'll try and do this because this is on the micros, on the S&P, the micro S&P contracts, MES. Now if I just expand this out a little bit, so we're jumping at market, so let's put like a what we would consider to be a normal parameter on it. So we'll go with 1 point for a stop loss, and we'll go with 2 points, so we've got a positive risk reward ratio, and we'll look to buy the market here. So where's the market? 6,748. So we'll look to buy in there, and you can see the structure. I'm just trying to get that on the screen so it's clear. Whoops. There, you should be able to see it. So you can see that structure there. So if I buy the market now, you see, as it tells me it's going to jump in at market, it's going to do that, and that's it. I've got my structure in there. Now as I bring this up here, you should be able to see here, I've got I've got my order in here. There it is. It's filled that. It might have taken me out of the market already. Oh, that's the problem. You see, the markets, they move pretty quick, you see. So let me just go in again. Let me just try and do that again. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just expand it out a little bit, so we are not going to have any danger. So I have 6 full points on the take profit, and we'll have 3. So we're still balanced at 2 to 1. So let's try that again. There. So it's a lot wider on the ladder, but the point is you'll see the illustration there, and there you can see it there. So I've got there now. I've got my position at market. It's in at market, but I've also got resting orders ready to go through to the exchange, which are acting as a stop loss or acting as a take profit. Now, whichever the market now fills, so if it fills my stop, it will automatically cancel my take profit. If I don't use that structure, it will not take the other one off. It won't do it. And that's why the point that we made last week in the stream, it's very, very important you understand that. So the answer to the question of how do I enter into the market and then add my stop loss and take profit, if you're going to just enter in at market with your order, you're going to have to then manually put a resting order on the market to give you that execution for your stop loss or take profit, unless you use a one sends other order. But this is the way that futures works. You know, this is not it's not complicated. It's just that with a lot of forex accounts, the platforms do a lot of this work for you, and whereas what you've got to do, you've got to take a little bit more ownership of it. So if I now expand this out a little bit, and what I can do on the chart now, I can drag my stop loss up. So let's see if I can get stopped out. So if we get stopped out now, it would be great if it happens, wouldn't it? Oh, it's not going to happen, is it? What that should do, you should see that my take profit order will disappear. We'll just leave it there for a second and we'll see if that actually works. But you get the point, yeah? So what will happen is that will disappear. Now, that's not the only way of doing it. There is another way that you can work if you decide that you don't want to use this way of doing it. Now, I prefer working like that on the ladder because all the futures trading that I've done in my career has always been done on a ladder. And you get so used to working like that, it's just like second nature. But if you don't like that and you want a more traditional manual control of it, then what you can do is you can use some of the functionality in the order box underneath. It'd be great if this will stop out, because it will just beautifully illustrate the point for us. Let's see if we can get it to stop out. Oh, where's the price of the market? 45. Less than a point away. So you can see there you go. So it filled. So there you can see that the fill took place on the sell side, on the stop loss, and then the take profit was automatically removed. It's this one sends other plus one cancels other structure of order placement, of order templates, that allows that to happen. So if you're looking for that experience that you would get in a traditional forex platform, that is how you can create it quite easily. Now, there is another way of doing it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, if I don't use the template up here and the ladder, just move it over to the right, and I want to buy. What I'm just gonna change my screen a little bit, and what I've done is I've just zoomed down the screen a touch so that you can see this bottom area here. Where it's got the sort of the order confirmation entry boxes, because you're going to need to see that to understand it. There is another way that you can manipulate this process, and the way that is done, if I hit buy, so I'm looking to buy the market now, there's a little expandable button here, so I can modify the details on here. So I can change it from a limit order into a market order, whatever it is that I want to do, yeah? So what I can also do is a button here, a little crosshair on it. If you hit that, it'll expand out the structure of those orders. So I can work with it down here as well. So if I wanted to have a traditional OCO order, so that could be done in a way where, say for example, I'm not in the market, I don't have a position in the market now, and I'm actually not sure. I know it's going to be volatile, but I don't actually want to go into the news event with that happening, with a position live in the market. One thing I can do is I could straddle the market with two resting orders, yeah, two limit orders, an order above to sell if the market rallies up, and an order to buy below if the market falls, and then I'm looking to get long. I can use this functionality at the bottom to create that. It's the same thing as what was happening on the ladder, it's just a different way of doing it. So if I hit OCO now, what you'll see is it'll bring up an OCO order structure here in front of me. Let me see if I can just make that a bit bigger. There you go. Whoops. Takes a little bit getting used to. Now, I hope this is nice and clear. What it's got here is it's sort of pre-filled it all for me with the moving prices, but I can adjust that quite easily. So let's say, for example, that our price, where is our price now? 6,743, something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy underneath, and I'm going to sell above. So I'm straddling them. I don't have a position in the market, but I'm going to straddle the market if the volatility really picks up. So yeah, I'm going to sell above and I'm going to buy below. So what I can do is I can change my buy to a limit under here. And at 6,742, let's go with 40, and then above 45, something like that. Now, when I do that, these are both limit orders. You should see, there you go. So what it's done is it's created, let me just take that back off now so you should be able to see it. There. So it's going to fill. Oh no, I don't want it to fill just yet. So what it's going to do is, I don't have a position, as you can see, but if we touch this, there you go. It's done it, and it's cancelled the other side. So I'm now shorting the market, and the buy order that I had underneath, that has completely disappeared. So I do have that full control. It's a little bit hidden, and it's not easy to get used to. You've never done it before. So that is how that works. When you create that order, you'll see that plus symbol. You'll see that plus symbol down here underneath, and then you can expand that out, and then you can adjust your orders accordingly. So you can work with a limit order, no problem, and design your position. You can work with a market order as well, and then modify accordingly. If you just jump in with a contract at market, so let's just get rid of this altogether. Let's just hide that. In fact, you should be able to close it in various ways. If I just close that, if I just jump in at market, and I use one-click trading to do so, there. So I'm in the market now, and I have no stop loss, and I have no take profit. My only option from now is to add another separate position, because I didn't initiate an order template as I went in right at the very beginning. So that would be my only way of doing it. So there we go. I hope that sort of makes some sense in terms of how you can start to work with this. And as I've said a few times, as soon as you start working like this a few times, you will get used to it very quickly, and it will progress you quite nicely as a trader. It is very cool. Okay. That's a lot about futures. Now on to trading competitions, because we have a very cool, fantastic trading competition for November. It's going to be the second half of November that will lead us into Black Friday. It's on the dashboard right now, so you can see it. Where is it? Let me just show you. It should be there. Oh, wrong one. That's it there. The Midas touch. Only the golden few will rise. It's really good. Our competitions are massively popular. Be $1,750 in cash prizes altogether, and there's also loads and loads of accounts are possible with that as well. That's going to be launching in the live stream next Friday. We'll do the registration live on Friday, and then it will all kick off on the Monday, and that will take us into the end of the month and Black Friday as well. So it's a super cool way to look at getting either a cash prize that you can then spend on Black Friday, or alternatively get an account to set you up for trading over the Christmas period, whatever it is that you are looking for. So yeah, it's really cool to have a competition running in November. We do tend to advertise these very well on the socials as well, so you won't miss it, but it's already on the dashboard now, so you just wait for the registration to open next Friday, and then away you go. Okay, finally, got a lot of detail today. The offer that we have at the moment on the website is for the bonfire, the Guy Fawkes night offer that we did at the beginning of the week. That's a 30% off all of your accounts, the Forex accounts. The futures is different because that's still got the launch BOGO. Yeah, it's a really cool offer. The 30% off your Forex accounts you get on your instant funding accounts. You get the static drawdown on level 1 if you do want to work with the static drawdown, and you also get the level 7 add-on added in there as well. And on your challenge accounts, you get the faster weekly payouts, which is always useful to have, and your level 7. Fireworks is the code that you will need for that. And there you go. That's it. that is pretty much everything we've got for today. So yeah, I appreciate you joining us on the stream. Futures is active, and it's good to see so many people starting to get involved in that. It is a good place to be for FTUK. Appreciate your company. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you all next Friday.